All right, what's up, Rich Squad? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, back up in the house to do the 2019 AFC Asian Cup final between Japan, the Samurai Blue, and Qatar, the Maroons. It's gonna be a grand final. We have waited a month for this moment, and it's finally up on us. It will be February the 1st, 2 days from today. So I'm really looking forward to that fixture, man. It's one to look forward to. So as I wait for the stream to get populated, this is actually my second attempt to live stream, excuse me, because first time around, it was actually lagging. So I'm trying this again, second time. So guys, the final of the 2019 AFC Asian Cup between Qatar and Japan. And both teams have played really well so far at the tournament, and both teams deserve to be in the final. Let's just put it that way. You know, when you really look back at it, these are the two teams that actually deserve to be in the finals. So as I wait for the stream to get populated, I think, I got messed up the first time around. So I see people are now rejoining the stream. So if you're in here right now, just say, what's up? If you join the stream, the first time I had to leave because, there was a problem. What's up, my boy, MW Trolley? Guys, Saeed Al-Naimi up in here. And it seems like the stream is a bit better. How is it now, Martin? Is it a little better than the last time? Because the last time it was a bit lagging. So I had to end that and come again. So sometimes you just have to stop, and try again. And things should be better. Don't say no lags yet. Don't say yet. Don't put a yet in there. Just say no lags because we don't want no lags at all. So anyways, let's just wait a bit, until the stream gets populated. Let's see if we'll get 10 people up in here within the next 2 minutes or so. But guys, it has been a great tournament. And as I said before, these are the two teams that definitely deserves to be in the final. Japan, a bit lukewarm, in the group phase and in their first two knockout fixtures, but goddamn, against Iran, they just woke up and they were really brilliant. As for Qatar, they have been in red hot form for the entire of 2018, and they, brought that form right into the Asian Cup, and they're into the final, deservedly, man. This is a great performance by Qatar. 16 goals at the tournament so far. Before, in all their Asian Cup appearances, they only scored 33. So that's a fun fact for you. So they have really, got better in leaps and bounds. They have made big strides in their international football, and they will only continue to get better. And the Qatar League will continue to get better as well. You see, they're attracting very, high-profile talent over there. Mehdi Benatia just joined Al Gharafa, and there might be a few other, big signings, that I have missed. But Qatar definitely a nation on the up in Asia. Definitely, they will host the 2022 World Cup, so they definitely have to come to the fore. They will be at the 2019 CONMEBOL Copa America as well, so they definitely have to show up. As for Japan, guys, we are no strangers to what Japan can do. We saw what they did at the 2018 World Cup, despite losing versus Belgium, who had to come from behind after being 2-0 down in one of the most miraculous comebacks you could ever witness. I actually followed Belgium at the World Cup, and I made a video on that. It was one of my most, passionate videos. So I know I can recall that game very well. And Japan has blessed us with some really, beautiful football over the years. And the players, they just keep churning out these really quality footballers, and they deserve to be in the final. So guys, what we're going to do right now, we have 8 people up in here, not a lot, but we're going to start the show. We're going to recap the both of the semifinals, and then we are going to go into, discussing the finals rightfully. And then we will, look at some of the stats in the tournament and so on and so on, and then you guys could actually help out by giving me, we'll talk about some Asian news, football news. We could talk about some of the most interesting things that actually happened at the tournament. We are going to have a very, very fun live stream. We are going to go through these things, and it won't be, I don't want it to be super long tonight, but I want it to be very informative. I want it to be fun. I want it to flow. I want it to be fluent. Okay, I want fluidity in the stream tonight. So guys, if you haven't smashed the thumbs up button yet, please do so. Everyone who's in here right now, please smash it. What's up, Brian? Welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate it. So what we're going to do right now, we got to recap both the semifinals. If you've been following the channel very closely, you should realize that I made review videos for both of the semifinals despite not going live for the past couple of days, because I just wanted to take a little break, and I think I did those videos very well. I was actually rewatching the Qatar versus UAE video, and I was impressed with myself. It's a good feeling when you could rewatch your video at work. It's just me going off the top, and you could be proud of what you're doing. It's good inspiration, motivation to keep me doing this. Not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of individuals do this, especially outside of, let's say, England, do this. So I'm a very, very, very rare species out here. So Iran 0, Japan 3. We weren't expecting this result at all. I predicted a 1-0 win for Iran, who did not concede a goal at the tournament up until that game. But they had a meltdown. It was a serious meltdown by Iran, because they conceded. They actually went into the halftime 0-0. So it was like the second half was set up for a grand finale, and we were like, okay, Iran looks good to take this thing. But disaster struck. 56th minute. 56th minute. But let's not go straight to the goal. Let's talk about Iran's chances. From what I could recall, Sada Azmoun had a brilliant chance early. Really early, he had a chance to punish Japan. And it was a nice build-up. Sada got the ball, nutmegged the defender, and all he needed to do was lift the ball. He just needed to lift the ball, but he hit it on the ground, and Gonda was able to reflex, save, stretch out the leg and divert the ball past the far post. And all Sada needed to do was give that ball a little flight, and Iran would have been 1-0 up. And I think if Iran scored first, it would have been a different game. Maybe Japan could have equalized, but it would have been a total different game. Iran would have taken that game, I think, in my opinion. But Sada failed to score. I think they had a few other half chances. A header by Sada, a team header. And then we had a free kick saved from Jahan Bashk. A free kick, really good free kick, fast free kick. Gonda equal to the task. And I think this Jaga had another free kick, which he put wide. But when Japan came to life in the second half, they were lively in the first half. They were lively. But it weren't any really clear-cut chances that I can recall. Maybe they were, but I can't recall anything really testing the goalkeeper. But the Yu Osaka goal, the first goal, guys. And this game sparked a lot of controversy in the comments of the video. And a lot of the Iranian fans were actually saying that they felt they were cheated and the referee was no good, and they didn't, why was that guy actually even officiating in the game? And it was a very, 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 controversial game. Let's just say that. The goal. Iranian defender takes down Minamino. And when he took down Minamino, the referee did not stop the game at that point in time. And I have no idea what the Iranian players were thinking or what they heard, but I honestly can't recall hearing a whistle, and you have to play to the whistle. Play to the whistle. If the whistle blows, then you stop. If the whistle does not go, you don't stop. You wait and see what happens after. If the referee want to call it back and, do a VAR review or whatnot, so be it. But just play to the whistle. And Minamino played to the whistle, the smart thing. While 4 to 5 of the Iranian players charged the referee in protest for what I don't know. So while they were running towards the referee and with their hands up, Minamino continued, and by the time they realized that the game was still going on, he crossed the ball over, and Yuya Osako just put a thumping header past Alireza Beranvand, who was actually coming off his line and, lessen his chances of actually saving that ball. And it was 1-0 to Japan. 1-0. I was like, whoa, Iran just conceded. They just conceded. They just messed up my whole predictions, because I did predict Iran not to concede a single goal at the tournament and go on to win the tournament. So it was a total meltdown. It was players letting their emotions get the better of them. And guys, you know what I say, never ever make your emotion get the better of you. Don't. I have to take some of that advice too, because sometimes sometimes the emotions are really hard to control when you're dealing with something very, 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 very passionate. It's really, really hard. And 11 minutes later, Japan were 2-0 up via a Yuya Osako penalty. I think it was Minamino cross was stopped by the hand of the Iranian defender. I can't remember who blocked the ball. I'm watching this game on a phone screen, so sometimes I'm not always seeing the numbers and the player names and all of that. And I wasn't actually watching the game in English. That's the other thing. So, but that's not even important, You don't want to point fingers at individual players here. Ball struck the arm of the player, and that was another big talking point in the comment section. The people are saying that it's not a handball, that the player did not willfully hand the ball, but the handball rule is tricky, Sometimes ball to hand is not given, sometimes it's given, and what the player had going against him was the fact that his hands were away from his body even though he was falling. If he fell like this, like with his hands close to his body and he struck his arm, it would have been a different thing. But he fell with his hand outstretched, and the hand stopped the cross from coming over. And the referee reviewed it via VAR. After he gave the penalty, then he chose to look at it again, and he decided to give the penalty. And that was the blow. That was another big blow for Iran. At that point, I was like, Iran's not coming back from a 2-0 scoreline. 1-0, maybe I was giving them a chance to come back and, bring the game alive again. But 2-0 against that Japanese team who just kept everything Iran brought to them, everything Iran, put down. Because, and again, I think Iran took the wrong approach sometimes. They lacked the creativity, through the middle. And they were using the long balls a bit too much, sending the balls down in the box for Sada to, hold up. And it was very, very ineffective. Tomiyasu, who has been brilliant at this tournament, one of the best defenders at the tournament. Mr. Tomiyasu there, not very well known, but I think after this tournament, his stocks will go up. Maya Yoshida, we all know what he can do. He plays in the Premier League. Yuto Nagatomo has been brilliant at this tournament. I think, one of the best left backs in the tournament so far. And over on the right, Hiroku Sakai as well has been. So the back line for the Japanese team were resolute in the game. They were really, really effective, keeping everything out. And the goalkeeper, not to forget the goalkeeper, Gonda, who just actually, earned a move to the Portuguese club. I can't remember the Portuguese club name, but it's the same club that other Japanese player, I can't remember his name at all. But I'll get it for you guys. You guys should know what I'm talking about. But he just earned a move to the Portuguese league, to that club. Can't remember the name of the club. It's Porto Renense or something like that. Let me tell you. I'll let you know, because I actually want to let you know that piece of information. Portimonense. He just moved to Portimonense to join his fellow Japanese player. Let me let you know his name. Oh, man, I never, ever could remember this player name. He's lighting up the, Portuguese league as well. Okay, where is this guy? Maybe he's injured, because maybe he's injured. I think he might be injured. I'm not seeing him on the lineup. Maybe that guy is actually injured right now, but you guys know who I'm talking about. But, that's a big move for Gonda there, going to play in Liga Nosh from the Japanese league. So, with Japan being 2-0 up, they put the final nail in Iran's coffin, scored a third through Genki Haraguchi, and it was a defensive error. And someone in the comment section was saying, why am I saying that all of the Japanese goals were actually the Iranian players' faults, and I'm not giving credit to Japan? I am giving credit to Japan. They were brilliant. In the games, you need the other team to make a mistake, and you're going to pounce on the mistake and punish them. And a lot of times, teams don't punish other teams, but this time around, Japan did it very, very well, very effectively. They were very, very clinical. And when that Iranian player made the error, give away the ball, Haraguchi, he just went around the defender and he slapped that ball so powerfully past Alireza Beranvan, who conceded his third goal of the entire tournament, and Japan were into the finals. It was, game over. Game over for Iran at the tournament. And the end of Carlos Queiroz' tenure as the manager, 8-year tenure, has done a very, very good job with Iran at the 2 World Cups, and it was an awesome tenure. Let's just say that, and he will be missed. The Iranian fans will miss him, and they will be wondering what's next for their team. Like, who will take over? Who will lead this team into the future? The 2022 World Cup, 2026 World Cup. Carlos Queiroz, 8 years. The longest ever tenure by any Iranian coach. They don't keep managers that long. They don't. So I'm very, very, curious to see who they're going to bring in. And we don't know yet. We definitely don't know yet. But Moriyasu, the Japanese coach, awesome, awesome man. I think he gives his players a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in themselves, because you can see how calm he is on the sideline. He's not too emotional, and whenever they do something well, thumbs up, calm down, take your time, it's not game over yet. You know what I'm saying? And I really like that. I really, really like that about a coach. When a coach has confidence in you, you play better. You play better. I know that from being, a sportsman myself. I definitely know that I'm not that active anymore, but you guys understand what I'm saying. So the Japanese team, my accent almost came out real heavy there. The Japanese team, I already said the Japanese team. The Japanese team were awesome. They were awesome. They were awesome on the day. And they deserve to be in the finals, man. Shout outs to Ritsu Doan, 20 years old, man. This kid has been really, really good at this tournament. Ritsu Doan. Look out for him in the future. Shibasaki in the midfield. Endo as well. And don't forget Minamino. Minamino. He was the man, you know, making everything click for Japan on the day. So I think I give every player on the Japanese team a mention. And, you know, they deserve to be in the final. For Iran, though, Sada Azmoun picking that fight in the end there, that was really, really uncalled for, making his emotions get the better of him once again. And, you know, it was not a good sight to see at all. You know, you got to calm down and be more sportsman-like. And for Iran, I think the team played well, but they just couldn't finish things off. You know, they just did not have that, you know, let's say they did not have that belief, belief in themselves. They just choked. Let's just say they choked. They have not got to a final since 1976, but the Japanese team, they know how to win crucial games. They have got to many finals, and, you know, they are looking to win their 5th Asian Cup title. You know, but for Iran, best player of the tournament, in my opinion, you know, Sada Azmoun, despite, you know, his little childish antics in the final minutes of that game. Alireza Beranvan deserves a really big shout. This might be Ashkan Dejaga's final Asian Cup tournament. Who knows if he'll even be around for the 2022 World Cup. But with guys like, you know, Jahan Bashk and Mehdi Taremi, who will still be around for a few more years, the Iranian team will still be a very, very good team. You know what I'm saying? Hai Safi and, you know, Godos and all these guys will still be around. So Iran has a lot to look forward to in the future. So that will wrap up things with the Iran and Japan game. Japan into the finals to face Qatar. As I segue nicely into the Qatar versus UAE fixture, Qatar 4, UAE 0. I knew Qatar were going to steamroll the UAE though. I knew it. I predicted a 3-1 victory for Qatar. At least I got that one right. I did not get the Iran prediction right, that they're going to win the tournament. And now the team that I would really love to see win the tournament, to be completely honest, is Qatar. Why? We'll have a new winner, and why the 2022 World Cup hosts will be going into the World Cup as the Asian champions. Why the team has looked really good. They have looked really, really good, to be honest. Exciting young team here under Felix Sanchez, the Spaniard. Former Barcelona man, I think, too. So, Qatar, man, they deserve it. They deserve it way more than the UAE. It was a feisty game between two countries that are not friendly at all. The Qatari fans were not allowed to travel to the UAE. The media, you know, contingent were not able to travel to the UAE. And the stadium was all white. It was well attended, but it was all white. UAE fans, Zayed's sons, were well represented by the home crowd. And they weren't able to take, you know, full advantage of, you know, the home court advantage. Qatar just steamrolled. That's the perfect word. Embarrassed the UAE. 4 goals to 0. First goal, Bulam Kuki. Like, what happened there? I don't even understand. I'm still trying to understand how did Khalid Isa let that ball in. I'm still trying to figure that out. Really trying to figure that out. But it was a powerful shot, and he dove right over the ball. He himself couldn't even believe it. 1-0. But at that time and point, it was still 1-0. They could still get back into the game. But 15 minutes later, my boy of the tournament, Mr. Almoez Ali, the Sudanese-born striker, Almoez Ali, number 19, 22 years old, I think he is. And he has been freaking awesome at this tournament. That goal just exemplifies how awesome this player is. That was a brilliant goal. That was a brilliant goal. The build-up play and then Almoez Ali running away from the defenders and getting that shot off while a defender was on him, curling it. When he hit that ball was going outside the far post when he hit it. But the man is talented. I really enjoy seeing talent outside of Europe because a lot of people think that talent only exists in Europe, like really, you know, good talent. But goddamn, look at that shot. That ball was going out. It curled, smacked the far post and beat Khaled Isa, who was again in disbelief. Again in disbelief. You know, so at that point in time, I was like, wow, the freaking Qatar has done it. I can't believe it. They have done, actually, I did believe it. They did it. They really, really did it. And going into halftime, 2-0 up was a big, big, big plus. UAE had a few, let's say half chances to Ali Makbout, but the Qatari goalkeeper, Al-Sheeb, was hardly forced into I think it was one really, you know, good save he had to, you know, pull off, but otherwise he could have maybe pull out a newspaper, you know what I'm saying, a novel, Arabian Nights, and take a read, because he wasn't tested. He wasn't tested enough, I think. He wasn't tested enough, but he was really, really good. Second half, the UAE, Zaccheroni, the coach, made some big changes. He brought on Ismail Matar, the veteran, 127 cap veteran, and then after he brought on Mr. Ismail Khalil, who were, these players were actually Khalil and Makbout was part of the team and scored all the goals in UAE's 4-1 win versus Qatar in 2015 when they defeated them in the group phase 4-1. Qatar lost all their games in 2015 while the UAE got all the way to the semi-final. But, you know, this time around, it was Qatar dishing out vengeance on the UAE. So after Ahmed Khalil, I said Ismail Khalil. It's actually Ahmed Khalil. I don't know where I got the Ismail from, but the thing where I got the Ismail from is because there is a lot of Ishmaels that play the game. Quite, maybe like 5 to 6 of them. So when those players came on, it injected some life into the UAE. You know, they were really lively. They created more chances. They, you know, they made Qatar actually work a bit harder. But Qatar did not lose their cool. They did not lose their cool. They, you know, they were calm. They dealt with everything the UAE brought to them. And when they could go forward, they did. But it wasn't, they weren't really focused too much on going forward because they had a 2-goal advantage. But when they did, they threatened. And then in the 80th minute, they break through again through Hassan Al-Haydos, the captain, who has been awesome at this tournament. He came into this tournament as their talisman. I did cover him in the video that I did, talking about the best players in each group. And he was brilliant. Scored the 3rd goal, which was exquisitely finished. Got away from the final defender who slipped. And he faked the shot before, you know, he chipped Khaled Isa. It was just awesome, awesome stuff. And when he went up to celebrate, the UAE player Juma actually tripped him. I think he fell or he stumbled, and then all the players joined him in celebration, and then the UAE supporters proceeded in showering them with debris, shoes, bottles, cups, and whatever they can find. It was a horrible sight. It was just a horrible sight. Unsportsmanlike behavior to the fullest extent by the UAE crowd and the players, who were not so, nice at all. They were naughty. They were naughty. Really, really naughty. Qatar wasn't even done there. They wasn't done there. Wasn't done there. But just before Qatar scored their fourth goal, Mr. Ismail Ahmed got sent off for elbowing, let me tell you, Al-Hadri in his face. Like, why are you elbowing the man in his face? With cameras all around, a big semi-final, you're at home. It's just appalling. I was appalled. I was appalled. Let's just say that by the behavior of the UAE players and the crowd. It left a really bad taste in my mouth. It was distasteful behavior, and it's something that I will never forget. It's just things you never forget, So the UAE, maybe they shouldn't be hosting the tournament if they're not ready to actually behave in a proper way. Definitely. I predict them not hosting a tournament for the next 20 years. Like, don't deserve it. So the fourth goal was scored by Hamid Ismail, another Ismail, just after he came on. 90 plus 3 minutes he came on, and immediately, probably with his first or second touch, he scored the fourth goal. I think it was even, if I can recall, this was even his first international goal. This had to be his first international goal as well. 31 years old. Let me see something. If I can recall, that's what I think I heard them say. Yes! First international goal. First. He's a right back. And what Wikipedia is saying, he's a right back and utility player. So it means he can play anywhere. 31 years old. He has 57 caps. And he scored his first ever international goal versus the UAE. How sweet it must have been. He will never ever forget that goal, and it came versus a very, very fitting opponent, the UAE. Like crazy. So Qatar finished the game 4-0. If you want to check some quick stats from that game, Qatar 7 shots, 5 on target. The UAE 10 shots, 3 on target. So you see how clinical Qatar was. Qatar 49% possession, the UAE 51. Very equal possession. Very equal in passes too. Qatar 451 passes, the UAE 10 passes less. Both pass accuracy similar, around 77 to 80%. It was 18 fouls in the game, 3 yellow cards. Not reflective of the ill discipline we saw during the game, throughout the game. And UAE had 5 corners compared to Qatar's 1. So the UAE had the chances to score, but at the end of the day, the better team won, and that was Qatar. The UAE, very unconvincing at the tournament. I use that word a lot to talk about Japan, but the UAE have now adopted that word because Japan have now, skipped away from that title, and they're into the finals to face Qatar. So guys, now we will talk about the Qatar versus, the Japan versus Qatar final. Now that we have recapped both semi-final fixtures, we can now talk about the grand final. But before we talk about the grand final, guys, what do you think about the 2 semifinals? Do you believe that Qatar and Japan deserve to be in the finals, opposed to UAE and, Iran? Do you think that they deserve to be in the finals? They have been the best team so far at the tournament. What do you think? What do you think? I'm reading the chat right now, so I am waiting for your reply before we start talking about the final. Think I got head-to-head for both these teams, though, Japan and Qatar. Yes, I do have head-to-head. I have all the info and everything. What do you guys think? Are these two teams the best teams? All right, Gaming with Phoenix is saying that Iran got robbed. I don't believe that Iran got robbed. To be completely fair and unbiased, I think Iran did not play well at all. They choked. They choked. If you know what the word choke means in sport terminology, that's what Iran did. We have Inquisitive Man. What's up? Japan and Qatar, both in Copa. Crazy. Yes, both the teams in the Copa America, they are in the final of the 2019 Asian Cup. Japan, yes. Qatar paid FIFA just to be informed for 2022, says Donovan McCrabb. My man Donovan McCrabb, who has been with the channel for quite a while, is hitting us with some conspiracy, you know, saying that Qatar paid off FIFA for the World Cup, you know. But they have two Afifs in their team, though. Just remember that. Afif spelled backward is FIFA. They have two of these guys in their team. So, you know, maybe that's why things are working out in their favor. But anyways, you guys don't have much to say about the question that I asked, so I will move on. So cool 97 is saying that Qatar about to win it. It'll be awesome to see a new winner, to be honest. It will be really sweet to see a new winner. But Japan versus Qatar, these two teams have met each other on 9 previous occasions. 9, with Japan winning 3, 4 of these games ending in draws, and Qatar winning 2. So not a bad head-to-head at all. Not a bad head-to-head. Teams seem like, you know, they've been going at each other 9 times. So not a deep-rooted history between these two sides, but it's still, you know, 9 games between them is quite a lot. So I want to actually take a quick look and see if they actually met each other in the Asian Cup. And because I did not really look up info on that, I just want to check real quick if they met each other in the Asian Cup recently. But they must have met each other in the Asian Cup. Most of these Asian teams have met each other in the Asian Cup. So let me check really, really fast. But guys, how's your day going so far, man? You know, I really enjoy coming to chat with y'all, doing live streams. I didn't really like doing them because, you know, the phone, I was using an older phone, and it was really bad. Like, it wasn't actually, you know, I don't know what it was, but all my lives were like really choppy and messed up and, you know, lagging really, really bad. And it was like cutting out portions of the video when it uploaded, and I was like, why is it doing this? I don't get it. But since I upgraded my phone, which I actually use to live stream, it actually got a lot better, you know. I was quite impressed when I watched a replay of the video. So Japan versus Qatar in the Asian Cup. They first met in 1988. It was a 3-0 win for Qatar. So their win came in 1988, won in the Asian Cup. They met again in 2000 Asian Cup. It ended in a 1-1 draw. They met again in 2007 Asian Cup. It was a 1-1 draw. And they last met at the 2011 Asian Cup, which ended in a 3-2 win for Japan. Japan went on to win that tournament. They met in the quarterfinals of that tournament. So awesome stuff. So Japan has won the last Asian Cup meeting between these two teams. And that was actually the last time Qatar and Japan met each other. But Qatar has not defeated Japan since 1988. They won in 1983 and 1988, and they have failed to defeat Japan in the last 20 years because it was actually December 1988. So it's 20 years, 1 month. They have failed to defeat Japan. So it's not that all roads are pointing towards Japan here, because teams develop really, really quickly. 4 years ago, Qatar got knocked out of the Asian Cup without winning a single game. Fast forward 4 years later, they're into the finals without losing a single game, scoring the most goals at the tournament, not conceding a single goal. So it's a really, really tricky one to predict here. It's really, really tricky. They have the tournament's top scorer in Almoez Ali. You know, they have Afif playing really, really well. They have, you know, Hassan Al-Hados playing really, really well. They also have my man here, I think, let me let you know his name, Abdel Karim Hassan, who I actually think Abdel Karim Hassan was the AFC Footballer of the Year for 2018. If I can recall, you know, the commentator saying, let me actually confirm that. Yes, Asian Footballer of the Year for 2018, Abdel Karim Hassan. Abdel Karim Hassan. Guys, I did not even notice until the semifinal. I was like, whoa. I did not even realize he was the Asian Footballer of the Year for 2018. You know, so similar to how Mohamed Salah, African Footballer of the Year, Abdel Karim Hassan, you know, Luka Modric, you know, Ballon d'Or, you know, European Footballer of the Year, Abdel Karim Hassan. So they have caliber in the team, you know what I'm saying? They have quality, and I expect them to do something in the finals. If they lose, it won't be a pushover. And if they win, they will do it really, really emphatically. And not to forget to mention that Mr. Al-Sheeb in the goal, Mr. Saad Al-Sheeb, is yet to concede a single goal. Let us not forget that. Is yet to concede a single goal at the tournament. So my man, Bulam Kuki, has been awesome as well, chipping in with 2 goals, I think, and he is a center back. He is a center back. What was he even doing up so in such an advanced position to score that first goal? You know, Tarek Salman as well, who was a defender in the last game. We also have Abdul Aziz Hatem, suspended player, to come into the game. I think he picked up I think he was the guy who had 3 assists versus North Korea, if I can recall. Was it North Korea? Yes. And then Bassam Al-Rari, the Iraqi-born player, to come in. So Qatar will be, you know, it will be a tough opponent to face here. It will be a really, really, really tough opponent to face in the finals. For Qatar, guys, remember they were first in Group E, defeated Iraq 1-0 in the round of 16, defeated South Korea 1-0 in the quarterfinals, and then defeated the UAE 4-0 in the semis. So they're looking really, really good. As for Japan, guys, man, Japan, the Samurai Blue have not had a very, very convincing tournament up until they met Iran, to be completely honest. You know, they were first in Group D, defeated Oman 2-0 in the round of 16, defeated China 3-0 in the quarterfinals. I guess, oh no. I'm talking about Iran here. I'm reading the wrong thing. First in Group C. Oops. First in Group C, because I'm like, 3-0, 2-0. No, Japan was actually winning by 1-goal margins. I'm actually on the right thing, but I was reading the Iran. Woo, what a screw up there. Woo, but I caught it fast. First in Group C, defeated Saudi Arabia 1-0 in the round of 16. Defeated Vietnam 1-0 in the quarterfinals. And then they defeated Iran 3-0 in the semifinals. Oh boy. Woo! That was, I caught that one. But, guys, this Japanese team in transition, you know, no Okazaki, no Honda, no Kagawa, no, well, Inui hasn't really been involved too much at this tournament, you know, so you could say no Inui as well. And a few other players did not come to the tournament. Well, you could say, I think Endo, the other defender, Endo as well. You know, so it's a transitional team. Team going through a transition. New manager Moriyasu after, you know, taking over from Nishino post-World Cup. And it's really damn good that they got so far. Despite winning every game 1-0. It was good. It's really, really, really good that they got so far. I'm impressed. Seriously. In what they did versus Iran, I'm totally impressed because nowhere had Japan knocking over Iran. No way. But if you look at what, you know, the Japanese team has like their games, they have been tested. They have been really, really tested. 3-2 versus Turkmenistan, 1-0 to Oman, 2-1 versus Uzbekistan, 1-0 Saudi Arabia, 1-0 Vietnam. You know, they were tested. So when they meet a team versus Iran who weren't really, really tested, who didn't even concede a goal, who, you know, were just breezing through the competition, they knew how to, you know what I mean, come up. They had a plan versus a very formidable opponent. But for Iran, on the other hand, they didn't really have a plan, I think, for when they succeed, they concede a goal. And I am quoting one of my subscribers who made that very, very valid point in the comments. Iran conceded and they had no way back from that. But Japan, they have conceded. They have seen almost every scenario at this tournament so far, you know. And they were able to actually, and also to mention, as I'm talking about that, against Turkmenistan, they conceded first. So they had to come from behind, you know what I'm saying, versus Turkmenistan. So it wasn't like they had to come from behind versus Uzbekistan as well. So they had all different type of scenarios before they came into this game. And the team, you know, the team is looking really, really good. And I mentioned the players earlier who I'm really, really impressed with. Minamino, you know, Yuyo Osako has been around a while, so you expect nothing better from him. You also have Yoshinoro Muto to come off the bench if needed. You have, you know, Ritsu Doan, man. Ritsu Doan, 20 years old, guys. Don't even 20. I couldn't believe it when I saw his age. 20 years old. I think they have given all their goalkeepers, you know, a game. We had Schmidt. I'm wondering how there's a Schmidt playing for, you know, Japan. You know, Gonda, and I think Higashiguchi as well is the other goalkeeper. So most of their players have been given time on the field, and that's an awesome, awesome thing by the coach. Awesome stuff there. You know, if you go back and you check all the other, you know, you check the lineups for the other games, all the Japanese players were given games. So the team is well drilled. I'm looking at the Uzbekistani match right now, and half of these players did not even feature, like almost all of these players did not even feature versus Iran. I'm telling you, it was a completely different team, and they won the game. So the team is very, 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 very well drilled here. A very, very well drilled outfit. So, guys, with all that discussed, with all that said, you know, who's going to win the 2019 Asian Cup? I don't know what else to actually talk about when it comes to these two teams. You know, I think I've covered most things. You know, if you want to talk about their style of play, you know, I think both have a, you know, similarities in that Qatar, you know, they very, very, very good going forward. You could say they're very well, They're very well drilled going forward, but they have not been tested so much defensively, goalkeeper as well. But the defense have, not conceded anything. So, you know what I'm saying? And they have been the best in the attack and best defense. So let's just say that. Best attack, best defense. Could be best midfield too, because they have been providing the service for the forward. So when you really think about it, it's the two best teams. Two best teams playing in the final. I don't even know what the 11s are going to be looking like, because it could look like anything. It could seriously look like anything, because all the players on both teams, have been playing well, and anyone can feature. It's really, really unpredictable. We know we will see Almoez Ali. I know I'll see Yuyo Osako Minamino. We will see Ritsu Doan there. I think the same back line. We might see the same Japanese team playing the final. I think the Japanese, now I think about it, the Japanese lineup might look like the same. I don't think anyone got suspended for the final, because the yellow card accumulation, ended after the quarterfinal were over. So unless you got a red card, you will be playing in the final. So everyone could feature in the final. So guys. I see Brian Hiller Jose saying Japan 0, Qatar 2 here. What do you guys think? Who is going to win the 2019 AFC Asian Cup? Who's going to win it? We're coming up close to an hour, so we have to get to the point. Who's going to win the 2019 AFC Asian freaking Cup that I've covered for the entire month of January, man? Let me take a drink to that. Because, come on, man. It's how... Now I think about it, how the hell did I do that? A whole tournament that everyone else ignored. Props to Dominic Rich. I'm giving myself props. Props to the boy Dominic Rich. All right, we have namely Jose in Qatar, Sukol 97, a 1-0 to Qatar. Omar M is saying Japan. EFJ, my boy, is saying 3-1 to Japan. We have Ali Dow saying, enjoy your beer, bro. Yes, I need to enjoy the beer. For the past, let's see, well, the new week for my work week starts on Monday. I did 32 hours across the last 3 days, 2 12-hour days and an 8-hour day. I'll be off for the next 2 days, so bought myself a 6-pack to just enjoy, man. When I'm done with this live stream, I play a little FIFA, you know what I'm saying? And then I go upstairs, hang out with the wife and thing, wife and my little son. He's going to be 3 months old in like a week. So time is flying, man. I could remember when he was born, when I was in the hospital covering the Champions League. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. The things that I do. Man. But this final, man, let's not meander away from the main point here. The final, the score, who will win. I did not even write down who I think will win the tournament. But guys, to be completely honest with you, I'm going to give you 2 answers. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win, and I'm going to tell you who I want to win the tournament. Who I think is going to win the tournament first. Who I think is going to win the tournament. This is who I think is going to win the tournament. I think Japan, the Samurai Blue, are going to win the tournament. That's just what I think. To be completely honest, I just think they're going to take it, man. The team is so... It's like going back to the World Cup, right? Going back to the World Cup. how they played at the World Cup. It was like exciting football. They never ever take, just remember this, and you guys, they don't take their foot off the gas. It does not happen. Very, very relentless team. They do not take their foot off the gas. So once they score, they will keep score. Once they score, they will either keep scoring or you won't score. You know, you won't pass them. So I think if Japan scores first in this game, they will go on to win the match. But they also know how to come from behind. They also know how to come from behind. But I think if they score, they need to score first to win this game. It's not going to be a 0-0 game. It will not be a 0-0 game. So I saw someone predicted a 0-0, Adrian Delgado. It's not going to end in a 0-0 draw and go to 120 and then go to penalties. I don't think it's going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I do not have a Qatar jersey. And I wish I had one of the Barcelona, it was the Barcelona jerseys that says Qatar on the front, but I don't have anything that says Qatar on the front. This Barcelona jersey that I have says Rakuten on the front, you know? Some Chinese company. But I actually don't have a Qatari jersey. I don't have a Qatari jersey. But if they win the tournament, I think I will try to get one. If they win the tournament, I'm going to get a Qatari jersey. Definitely going to get one. I don't have anything with the Qatari airline sponsor or the Qatar sponsor on it. Nothing. Blank when it comes to Qatar. That shirt, that Barcelona shirt is like maroon, so I guess that will be for Qatar. Okay, Rakuten is Japanese. Thank you very much for the correction. Thank you very much. But I think Japan are going to win the tournament. I'm going to say a 2-1 margin. They're going to score their 2 goals first, then Qatar going to score 1, and Japan are going to go on to win the tournament. That's who I think. Who I want to win the tournament, I want Qatar to win the tournament. I want them to win the tournament. If they win the tournament, they will qualify for the Confederations Cup, because even as 2022 World Cup host, they will not qualify automatically because the Confederations Cup will not be hosted by Qatar. But what I don't actually know as yet, is if they're going to allow them to participate at the tournament as World Cup host, which I don't think they will, because what if, unless Japan wins the tournament and end up hosting the Confederations Cup, then Qatar will automatically qualify as the runners-up of the Asian Cup. You get what I'm saying? They will qualify as a runners-up, while Japan will qualify as the host of the tournament. So both finalists will be in the Confederations Cup. But we don't know who's going to host the Confederations Cup yet. And I don't think it's not going to be Iran for sure. It's not going to be Iran. Let's count Iran out. So anybody from Iran here saying that it's going to be Iran, just get it out your mind. They're not taking the tournament to Iran. There are too many controversial things going on with Iran. It's not going to be in the Arabian Gulf area, because if you're taking it away from Qatar, you're not going to give it to one of those countries. Who is going to host it? It has to be a country capable of hosting it with, the stadiums, the hotels, the this, that. And the football has to be up to par, up there. Not going to be Vietnam, not going to be Thailand. I don't think it's going to be Australia. I have a feeling it could be South Korea or Japan, but I just have a feeling it's going to be Japan. I just have a feeling it's going to be Japan. But I think that Japan are going to win the 2019 AFC Asian Cup 2-1. And the team just looks too good right now. The fact that they have made it to the finals, barely trying I could say throughout the group phase and early knockouts, and then up in the ante versus Iran into the final. I think Japan is going to win it. I think I'm finally going to get my prediction right here because my heart is not with Japan to win it, but it's not always what your heart wants. Sometimes you just got to go with, you know, your mind here. I think my heart wants Qatar to win it because of the whole, you know, it will make for a great story. You know, I love stories, you know what I'm saying? I love the whole fairy tale, the whole Cinderella script, you know what I'm saying? 2022 World Cup host, Copa America 2019, you know, guests, Asian Cup champs, you know, in your face UAE, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, up and coming team, Almo as a lead, just lighting up the tournament. You know, 8 goals, tied with Ali Daye for the most goals ever at the Asian Cup. And getting, you know, to the final, getting past the quarterfinal for the first time ever. You know what I'm saying? Japan has done it already. We know what Japan could do. You know what I'm saying? We expect this. So we did not expect this from Qatar. Shock value. We need that. We need that. We need that. Definitely do need that. So guys, what I want to do right now, you know, we are basically done with this whole thing, man. You know, you guys actually think, you know, Japan. I think you guys think Japan is gonna win it. A lot of you guys are saying Qatar, but you know, I think it's split between Japan and Qatar right now. Obviously, it's a 50-50, both of them in the finals. But I'm gonna go for Japan, guys. Give me your final winner. Type Japan or Qatar. I don't want no scoreline. Japan or Qatar right here. Who you want to win? They have 23 people in here right now. Those watching the replay view, get this far. Qatar or Japan? All right. A almost saying Qatar. Brian Hinajosa Qatar. Omar M Japan. Ali Daus Qatar. So we have Qatar 3-1 right now. Come on, guys. Come on. Get your answers in and stop playing. Sokolu saying Qatar, namely Joe Qatar. I have my boy Red up in here saying Qatar, and 80 Booth saying Japan, Qatar. So we having Qatar outscoring Japan right now. Alfredo Valencia saying Qatar as well. So Qatar has really stolen our hearts, guys. They have really stolen our hearts with this attractive football, man. Seriously. I'm telling you, I think you guys just enjoy the way they beat the UAE. And the UAE were all bitter and sour after the match. You know, I have never seen a team sourer than the UAE after that loss. Like, you know, I can recall watching this video of a race, and it was like a marathon. And this guy was leading. He was running towards the finish line, and the guy behind him just did this and smacked him in the back of his like head or something, like bam, when he crossed the finish line, and he started celebrating. That's what the UAE did versus Qatar there, because you know they were really salty. If there were a third place game, guys, I think Iran will take it. I'm gonna give Iran third, and Iran did get third when you look at the way they lost, because Iran lost 3-0, Qatar, UAE lost 4-0. So the UAE are fourth in the tournament, Iran third, and we have Japan and Qatar scrapping it out for first and second. Guys, I wanted to do something fun. I think I am going to do it. I started doing it. Team of the tournament. I want you guys to actually start putting together your team of the tournament. Put together your team of the tournament. And what we could actually do, I will actually make a post. I will try to make a post on the community tab for you guys to submit your teams of the tournament. And I could actually do a fun video letting you know my team of the tournament. And then at the back end of the video, I will actually, you know, name your team of the tournament. That will be something fun to do for you guys, you know, to basically like give you guys a shout out or something. I think I'll do something like that. That's a great idea that just came to my mind though. I could do something like that. So I'll do my team of the tournament first, and then at the back end, for example, I would have, Brian Hitter Joseph's team of the tournament, and I will just, bam, 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 name it out and, see how many of the same players we pick, and then I would have, so it will be a fun activity. If we have, like, say, 25, I don't know if I could do all 25, but, we'll see. We shall see how it goes, but what do you guys think about that idea, though? Are you willing to participate? Let me know now before I take it back. Let me know before I take it back, because I will take it back if you're not going to participate. Thank you very much, Brian, man, that you like the idea. Ali Douse like the idea as well. So I'll make the tab after the final, because, it will be like a Asian Cup type of, post-Asian Cup videos. Like I'll do 2 of those. I'll do the team of the tournament, and I'll do 1 more live stream. Well, the live stream I would actually do after the final. What I could do after the final on Friday, I'll make a video, reaction video after the game, talking about the game. Put that up. So put that out there. And then later in the night, I will do a live stream. Or later in the afternoon, I'll do a live stream for us to all discuss the winner and talk and drink a beer and, stuff like that. And, then afterwards, we will do the team of the tournament last. We will do that one. Questions now. We will do questions. We already have questions coming up. We will do Q&A for a little bit, like 10 minutes or so before I scoot out of here. We have EFJ asking, do you think Almoez Ali should get a loan to a Premier League team, like for, say, Arsenal? No. You know why? I don't think moving to the Premier League, it's overrated. It's really, really overrated. You're just going to go and you're just going to spoil, yourself or going over there. I think going to a team like, say, Ajax or PSV or Feyenoord, one of these teams in like the Dutch Eredivisie, or like, say, a team like, what you call it there, the other team there, AZ Alkmaar, one of these teams, you would get opportunities to play. You would get time. You get chance to shine, time on the field. You go to Arsenal, you're going to rot on the bench. They ain't going to pay you no mind. They ain't going to play you. I'm just saying that. Also, Reddit saying, yes, Celtic, Rangers, these, leagues, you will get opportunities. Maybe even in the French league, you will get opportunities. But Portuguese league is a really good league to go for opportunities as well. But not the English Premier League. Let's even throw him in the Championship for a team like, say, Aston Villa, Leeds, one of these teams, Derby County, but not the Premier League, Premier League might be too heavy for him. The expectations might be too high. The stage might be too big, you know what I'm saying, for a man like Almoez Ali. Namely Joe asks, who is your favorite? What? I didn't get that. You didn't spell the last word right. All right. AR Mo, what do you think of my team of the tournament, Dom? Did you type it out? Your team of the tournament. What do you think of my team of the tournament? Well, I did not see a team of the tournament yet. While we are on the topic, what are your thoughts on a possible abolishment of the Confederations Cup? I think they have already discussed getting rid of the Confederations Cup. This one coming up might be the last one. So I think they are going to do away with it. I don't know if they're going to replace it with something else, but I think they're going to do away with it. And fair, it's fair. We need fresh things, to excite us. We need something fresh, I don't know what will replace it, but all I know is we need something fresh, But the Confederations Cup has always been a warm-up, like a prequel to the World Cup. So you could test the conditions, you could see what's going on. You know, it's like a warm-up. It's like a drill before the World Cup. So, you know, we just have to wait and see what they did. What they're gonna do, I mean. What they're gonna do. Okay, so ARMO is telling me, you know, somebody put the team of the tournament. I'm looking for the team of the tournament that someone put up, but I can't find it. I cannot find it. I can't find it. So we will move on. I'm looking for it. Oh, okay. I found it. So you have Beranvan, Nagatomo, Miguel, Riesan, Alheidos, Askan, Taremi, Almoez Ali, Azmoun, Osako, Alimab Kut. It's a good looking team, but what I want you to do, I want you to take some time. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to have a short list, 23 players, like a squad. And then from those 23 players, you're going to divide them into goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, forwards, and then you're going to go on and pick the best 11. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my 23, but I'm going to give you my best 11, then the subs and the reserves, but I want you to give me your best 11. So do it in that format and sure to come out with a really nice team. It will be hard to pick though. What League On team do you vision Almoez Ali playing for? Any one of the League On teams except for Marseille, Lyon, PSG. Don't go to Monaco. Stay away from Nice. Any one of those teams except those 5 that I just mentioned. You know? But a team like Strasbourg has been awesome this season. Could be a good fit. Maybe, you know, Nantes, Toulouse, Saint-Etienne, one of these teams, you know, good. It's a good place to go to develop your craft. A lot of big players, you know, come through the league or, you know, the French league. Hazard, Aubameyang, Bernardo Silva, you know, James Rodriguez, you name it, man. They came through. Some of them still playing there. So what about an Asian Nations League? Could it work? Ali Daus, great question. I've been thinking about doing that. I have a concept video planned for that. Don't want to talk about it too much. There'll be people lurking in the streams to steal ideas. I do believe that actually happens. And, you know, that actually happens. There's lurkers. And I'm thinking about working on it. But it doesn't matter. If you have an idea, somebody steal the idea, they might not deliver it like I deliver it. And they might come off like if it's an original idea. But no idea is original. It's how you do it, man. It's how it's said and how it's done. That's a quote from one of my favorite artists of all time, Nas, the rapper Nas, off his Lost Tapes album back in 2001. I was a Nas stan, you know, so I know these quotes from his songs. So the death of the Confederations Cup makes, I don't know. We will just have to wait and see what it makes. Okay, namely Joe, what is your best, most favorite Manchester City transfer? Well, we haven't really had a lot of transfers lately, so I'll have to go for Riyad Mahrez. He haven't really, you know what I mean, catch fire fully as yet, but I'll say Mahrez to answer your question. So the Gaming in Phoenix says, I really hope the Confederations Cup stays. We might just have one more. We might just have one more, man. Okay. What else? Questions. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Okay. No problem, EFJ, man. No problem. What is your most memorable moment for the World Cup? So we are on the World Cup again, namely Joe with the World Cup question, a boomerang question there, throwback question. Favorite moment of the World Cup? Well, one of my most joyful moments and, memorable moments from the World Cup was actually when Belgium came back from that, being 2-0 down versus Japan to beat them 3-0. The whole team was just awesome. Everything worked and came out victors, man. And was a memorable tournament. The whole World Cup was memorable. Even though it seems like it was so long ago and so much has happened since then that it seems like it's distant memory, to be honest. Good morning, Mr. Terasaki, man. Where you coming in from? Japan. Has the topic of the AFC ended? Yes, it's done. But if you have a question, you can still ask right now. It's open for question. John Stones, 80 Booth. No, not John Stones. Not at all. Not my favorite Man City signing. Do you think Company will leave Man City this summer? Okay, AVJ, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. What I think about Company, and while we're on the topic of the whole Man City thing, man, I was really fucked up, man, about the loss yesterday, pardon my French. I was really, really, messed up about the whole loss, man. We lost to Newcastle. Like, this has not happened for ages. And we lost. I don't know what's going on with us, man. But on the flip side, it felt really good today when Liverpool drew against Leicester City. I actually watched that game today while I was at work. And it felt good. I wanted them to lose so bad. But 5 points ahead. The title race is heating up. Remember, guys, I said I want to talk about the title race. I'm just waiting for the right time to just start. I don't know if 14 games out is like the right time to start because Tottenham is also in it. So I don't know. But Company, I think Company should... What I think, honestly, Company, his contract, if it's ending like at the end of the summer, I really don't know. He should be given one more year. 2019-20. This is your last year. Go out there, use your opportunities well, and farewell. A good farewell. And if you want to go back to Belgium or go wherever, go to China to play. But I think he should just end his career on a high. Don't go out being, injured and, you can't come back. I think, he should just go out on a high. That's what I think. Japan made a whole documentary for the last 15 seconds. Oh, wow. Wow. Where could we actually see that documentary, though? They made a documentary for that last 15 seconds. Oh, wow. How would the Confederations Cup work in 2025 if there's 3 host nations, Canada, Mexico, and the USA? Well, that's why they're getting rid of it. It's not going to happen in 2025. It ain't going to happen. Not happening. Okay, AFJ, can Frankie de Jong be the next Xavi or Iniesta for Barcelona? I know Frankie de Jong is very, very talented, very, very versatile. Could he be the next Xavi, Iniesta for Barca? I'm going to go with a no. There's only one Xavi. There's only one Iniesta. These players are irreplaceable. It ain't going to happen. Frankie de Jong has to just go there with his own style and actually make that style work in the whole Barca system and just have his own identity and just, go out there and shine, for the Netherlands. That's what I think. And since we are on the topic of the Dutch players, guys, I actually read something that Memphis Depay said one of the clubs he would like to go to in the future is City. And it sparked something in my brain immediately. I'm like, why don't they buy this guy while Pep Guardiola is still at the club? Memphis Depay is so talented. And I think with him under Pep Guardiola, he would become even better. He has like 11 assists, 6 goals in League for a striker. So his creative part of the game is like top notch. And he's scoring goals, but it seems like he is still struggling in front of goal, and I actually saw that in the Nations League. Him playing for City will be a good freaking thing. That's a player they can look to buy, and I don't think he will be so expensive either. Like Memphis Depay is not a hot product right now. He's not going to be so expensive. Even get him on loan and try to, something. It will give freaking good competition for Aguero, for Jesus, and with Memphis there, Aguero and Jesus would be like, oh man, I have to up my game because I don't want to lose my place to this dude, and then when Memphis plays, he would like, I want to hold down a spot instead of so it will be a good move. What do you think? Who do you think will get Fekir? Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, or Inter Milan? Fekir is bound to move. He's bound to move. Where will he go? Who should he go to? My bet, the best fit for Fekir. Best fit. Liverpool? No, don't go to Liverpool. Now, reason why I don't think he should go to Liverpool is they're too heavy right now. They're too heavy. They're too top heavy right now. Too top heavy. You already have Salah, Firmino, Shaqiri, Mane, Wijnaldum, Keita, Fabinho, Milner, Henderson. You know what I'm saying? Who else do you want to fit in there? They're too top heavy. They're not gonna go there. Chelsea, I don't advise anyone to go to Chelsea, really. Strange club. You know what I'm saying? They have so many talented players. Just they always send them out on loan. They don't use those players to develop the club, which they should do. Their own players, they're not using them. They're bringing in, spending money, and they're not picking up the results that they want. You see them falling away this season. I think a perfect club, to be completely honest, for Fekir to go and shine will be a team like Tottenham Hotspur. No, you know what I mean? Like I'm being completely honest here. Tottenham, but it ain't gonna happen because they're not gonna spend the money for the Fekir. They're not gonna spend the money. Inter, I don't know. I really Inter not, United, hell no. I think Fekir should go to a team like, I think if he goes to Bayern Munich. I know you weren't expecting that, but Tolisso went to Bayern Munich. Tolisso, former Lyon man. He could take the same route. Bayern Munich needs fresh talent. Bayern Munich. I'm going to say Bayern Munich. That's just what I think. Okay. Questions. All right. Reading questions. If you're asking questions and I'm not answering because the questions are not, come on. You gotta ask really good questions. Ryan Hinojosa, who do you think teams like China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and UAE should bring in as their coaches for qualifying? Because a lot of teams, the coaches are moving on. Some coaches have been fired already. Excuse me. China, Lippi is moving on. Iran, Quiroz is moving on. Saudi Arabia, Pizzi has moved on already. And the UAE is Zaccaroni. I did not read anything about Zaccaroni, but it might be, he's old. So he might be moving on as well. Losing, the semifinal in such embarrassing fashion. I think I just read something about the Vietnamese. It was a Vietnamese coach. I think something about him. I just read the Thai coach changed during the tournament. Indian coach Constantine moved on. Syrian coach got fired. A lot of changes in plenty of the teams. But to be completely honest, I can't predict who each team are gonna bring in. To be completely honest, can't. Definitely can't. We don't know. But who they're gonna bring in is coaches who are actually out of jobs right now. Out of jobs. And we're going to be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that guy to, be the manager of such and such team. Pizzi might even move on to one of these teams. Who knows? But an important question. What is your job and that you can watch football match while you are doing your job. Okay, Islam Ali Poor, like he does not believe that I watch the games at work. Okay, I'm a mechanic. I work at the airport, JFK International. I'm a mechanic, truck mechanic. So when I go to work in the morning, they say, here is a piece of paper with a work order. It's called a work order. You're given your work order or your assignment to go on the ramp where the planes taxi and the people move around the baggage and all of that and do all the behind the scenes stuff. And you're given either one of these things to do. Nowadays, I haven't been on a ramp. You know, when I'm on the ramp, some of you guys should know, you know, I'm in the pickup and stuff. But if I'm in the shop working, I'm working. Sometimes I can't watch while I'm working. I listen while I work. If I'm watching, the phone is there. I'm working. I'm looking at things. You know, I'm looking at the game. Or, like for the past 2 days, I finish my work and then I watch the games. So I do have time at work. It's not a job where my boss is constantly over me, or I work in an office or something like that, or I'm working with customers. I'm not working with customers. When I get the job, I'm working by myself and I work at my own pace. It's my responsibility to get it completed. So I've been at the job for 5 years, so I know the ins and outs and everything. So that's the, you know, answer to your question. All right, namely, Joe, you're asking a lot of questions, but I can't seem to understand what you're trying to ask exactly. You know, I really don't understand what you're trying to ask. Okay, Dom, because of you, I got accepted to college as a broadcaster. Thank you for the inspiration. For real? Wow. Wow. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Thank you, you know. Thanks, and I'm glad that I could be an inspiration to some of you guys. Who do you think will win the UCL or the UEL? Not answering your question, Red. I'll save that for a video. Not answering at all. Not answering. Who I want to win? Champions League, Man City. Who I want to win the UEFA Europa League? Dinamo Zagreb. Okay. What is the best part of being a YouTuber? Okay, so namely Joe wants to know what is the best part of me being a YouTuber. Well, I think I'm more than a YouTuber. I'm more of a creative type of individual. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I would have been doing something creative, you know? Like when I was in high school, I used to write poetry, you know? I play sports, you know? I'm always doing something creative, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of that just, you know, came over into me doing YouTube, and my whole style developed over time. Because when I look back at some of my older videos, I'm like, oh my God, the fuck was I doing? Like, why was I talking like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no swag. It was just like, you know, but now I talk to the camera like I'm talking to you guys face to face. Like it's more natural, it's more organic. But before I was like, you know, oh yeah, and yeah, you know, oh, and, you know, so it felt like weird at first. But the best part of being a YouTuber for me is just basically being able to share my thoughts with you guys, interact with you, and just keep doing it, you know, on a daily and weekly basis. That's the best part. It's not about getting views. It's not about getting no money, because none of those things are, you know, I get a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's about just showing up and just talking about a topic that we all love, and football. You know, guys respond, I talk, I comment. That's what it's basically about. It's a community. It's a community, and I just happen to be the guy that's running the damn thing, you know? It just happened to be me. And I appreciate you guys for being a part of this community, though. So we have a few more things I'm going to run through here before I end the stream. We are at 1 hour and a half. Definitely time to end it. And why do Aston Villa keep letting me down? I don't know. I was actually checking the championship, standings the other day, and from 3 to 6 are really, really close. But from first and second are like pulling away. I think it's Leeds and another team. I can't remember. But Leeds definitely gotta get promoted to the Premier League next season. Leeds are in it. They're in the Premier League next season without a doubt. Norwich City, 54 points as well. So Norwich is looking good. Sheffield United looking good. But it's from 3rd to 6th. They go into the playoffs. Derby County, Middlesbrough, West Brom, and Sheffield United. But the whole thing is between 3rd all the way, guys, down to even, let's leave it at 15th, no, 17th. It's 35 points between, it's crazy. No, let me not go that far, but let's say between 7th, the 7th place team has 44 points, and the team 15th, Stoke City, has 38 points. So we don't know who are going to be in the last 6 as yet. But Norwich and Leeds are looking poised to get promoted to the Premier League. Leeds, I think, surely they're gonna come up next season. So that's just to touch on the championship a little bit there. So guys, that's it. If I didn't answer your question, okay, one more question. Akimitsu Terasaki, do you think the normal 4-year cycle as a national team coach is best for the nation to raise the level of football, or 8+ years like Iran or other European teams? I think coaches should work on merit. If you're not doing good, leave. If you're doing well, you stay. If you're doing well and you continue to do well, teams are successful, you stay as long as you can. Like, Yoki Love and, maybe Carlos Queiroz if you put him in there. And a few other managers like Oscar Tabarez for the Uruguay. So that's just my thoughts on that. So guys, that has been the coverage of the, preview prediction of the 2019 AFC Asian Cup final between Japan and Qatar. I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Thank you very much for joining the stream today. We had a great time, just recapping the semifinals. We had a great time talking about, the finals and going through, your questions and stuff. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun. We will actually, do a live stream very, very soon after the final where I would talk about some stats. I did want to talk about some stats, like all-round stats in the tournament, but I think it'll be best to leave that for last. What do you guys think? So if you haven't smashed the thumbs up button as yet, please do so. Help the video get to 50 likes. I would really appreciate that. So guys, until soon, very, very soon, we will talk. It's getting late. I have some things I want to do before the night is up. And I spent an hour and a half talking to you guys. It's more than a video. It's better than a video. It's really long. It's good stuff to watch, to binge watch too. So I'm your boy Dominic Rich, man. I love you guys. Until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.